Imagine a classroom for a second. In one corner, you've got a 7-year-old who's just full of energy. Then there's a 17-year-old, kind of trying to figure out their place in the world. And over there, a 47-year-old who's looking for a total career change. This isn't some hypothetical situation. It's what modern education actually looks like. So the big question is, how on earth do we build a learning space where every single one of them can really, truly thrive? Well, that's exactly what we're going to get into. So yeah, how do you do it? How do you teach a room full of completely unique individuals? It's a massive question, right? And the answer, spoiler alert, isn't some simple one-size-fits-all magic bullet. It's actually about a fundamental shift in how we think about teaching itself. We're going to break this all down into 3 key areas that I think will give you a totally new way of looking at what's possible in the classroom. All right, let's kick things off with the most obvious difference, age. I mean, it seems simple enough, but just think about it. The way you teach a kid to read is worlds away from how you'd get a teenager to analyze Shakespeare, which, again, is totally different from how you teach an adult a new piece of software. Age isn't just a number here. It's a completely different learning universe. Just look at how their motivations completely change. For little kids, learning is play. It's all about songs and stories. For teenagers, it's got to be relevant. It has to connect to their world, their friends, their tech. And for adults, it's all about the practical stuff. How is this going to help me right now? The secret sauce is tapping into what drives each group. For kids, that means games. For teens, it means letting them work together. And for adults, it means giving them real problems to solve. But age is only one piece of this giant puzzle. What happens when we zoom in and look at the unique ways each person's brain is actually wired? This brings us to a really crucial topic: supporting students with special educational needs, or SEN. And let's be super clear about this. This isn't about looking for deficits. It's about understanding and, frankly, celebrating the fact that every single brain works differently. SEN is a really big umbrella term, so think of it like a toolbox. You wouldn't use a hammer to fix a leaky pipe, would you? Of course not. In the same way, you've got to understand the specific needs of each student so you can grab the right tool to provide the right support. So let's open up this toolbox and take a look at a few of the most common ones we'll need. Okay, let's start with dyslexia. And please, let's forget that old myth about people seeing letters backward. That's not really it. A better way to imagine it is trying to read a book where the words are constantly shifting, jumbling up on the page. That's a lot closer to what it can feel like. It's a challenge in how the brain processes language, and it can make a simple reading assignment feel like you're trying to climb Mount Everest. So how do we help? How do we build a ramp for our dyslexic learners? Well, it's about engaging more than just their eyes. When a student can trace a letter in a sand tray, they're not just seeing it, they're feeling it. When they can listen to an audiobook, they get to bypass all that tricky decoding and go straight to understanding the story. See, these aren't just little tricks. They are entirely different pathways to the exact same destination: comprehension. Now, let's talk about autism spectrum disorder. Imagine walking into a loud party where you just don't get any of the social cues. You can't tell if someone's joking or being serious, and the music is so loud it's physically overwhelming. For someone on the autism spectrum, the whole world can sometimes feel like that party. It's just a fundamentally different way of experiencing and processing everything around them. So, what's the solution? How do we bring a sense of order to a world that can feel so chaotic? The answer, in a word, is structure. A visual schedule isn't just a fancy to-do list. It's a roadmap for the day that dials down anxiety and creates a real sense of control. When we give clear, direct instructions, we're not just telling students what to do. We're giving them the confidence they need to actually succeed. And finally, let's touch on ADHD. Imagine your brain is like a web browser with 100 tabs open all at once, and every single one is playing a different video. That's a pretty good picture of what it can feel like to have ADHD. It's not a lack of attention, it's an abundance of it, pointing in every direction. The real challenge is learning how to channel all that incredible mental energy. You see, the absolute key here is to work with the ADHD brain, not against it. Breaking a huge project down into tiny little steps makes it feel so much less overwhelming. A quick 5-minute stretch break can be a powerful reset button. And hey, turning a boring worksheet into a fun game, that can be a total game changer for motivation. It's all about finding what clicks for that individual. Okay, so we've looked at the what and the why of diverse learners. Now it's time for the really good stuff, the how. How do we take all this knowledge and actually turn it into practical, everyday strategies we can use? Let's open up our inclusive toolkit and see what's inside.
The magic word you're going to hear a lot is differentiation. And no, it absolutely does not mean creating 30 different lesson plans for 30 students. That's impossible. Think of it more like you're a DJ, not a radio station. Instead of playing one song for everybody and hoping they like it, you're mixing and matching different elements to create a learning experience that gets every single person in the room moving.
First up is the content. Think of it like a buffet. Instead of serving everyone the exact same meal on a plate, you're offering a whole spread of different dishes. Some students might love to dig into a complex text, while others might learn best from watching a video or listening to a podcast. The goal is the same for everyone, to get the nutrients of knowledge, but the way they get it can be totally different. Next up, the process. This is all about how students engage with that content. Are your students sprinters who like to work fast, or are they more like marathon runners who need time to think? Do they come alive in a big group discussion, or do they do their best work with some quiet time to reflect? By offering different ways to work, you're empowering students to learn in a way that actually feels right for them. Then, of course, there's the product. How are students going to show you what they've learned? Does it always have to be a 5-paragraph essay or a multiple choice test? Why not let them create a podcast or shoot a short film or design a comic strip? When you give students a choice in how they express their understanding, you're not just checking a box, you're celebrating their unique talents and creativity. And finally, we have the environment. Take a look around your classroom. Is it a rigid, one-size-fits-all box, or is it a dynamic, flexible space that can adapt to different needs? A quiet little corner with a comfy beanbag chair can be an absolute lifesaver for a student who gets overwhelmed. A standing desk can be a game changer for a kid who needs to move. The physical space itself is a powerful, powerful tool for learning. Let's make this super concrete. Say you're teaching the past tense in a language class. Instead of giving everyone the exact same worksheet, you create different tiers of challenge. Your beginners, maybe they're just matching pictures to simple verbs. Your intermediate students could be writing a few sentences about their weekend. And your advanced learners, you could challenge them to write a short story using multiple tenses. See? Same core skill, just different levels of complexity. That is tiered instruction in a nutshell.
But what if we could design our lessons from the very beginning so that we don't even have to add on all these accommodations later? That's the beautiful idea behind Universal Design for Learning, or UDL. It's like building a ramp into the blueprints of a building from day one. You're not just helping people in wheelchairs, you're also helping parents with strollers, delivery people with heavy carts, and, anyone who's ever sprained an ankle. When you design for the margins, you end up making it better for absolutely everyone.
So, when you boil it all down, what's the big takeaway from all this? It really is a simple but incredibly profound shift in perspective. A diverse classroom isn't a problem that needs to be solved. It's an incredible opportunity waiting to be embraced. It's not about managing all the differences. It's about celebrating them.
I just love this quote because it gets right to the heart of everything we've been talking about. It's not about giving every single person the same thing. It's about giving every person what they need to succeed. It's the huge difference between equality and equity. And honestly, understanding that is a game changer. So as we wrap up here, I want to leave you with a little challenge. What's one small thing, just one, that you can do tomorrow to make your learning environment just a little more inclusive? It could be as simple as offering a choice on an assignment, or it could be as profound as changing the way you think about a student's potential. Because at the end of the day, when we unlock the potential of every single learner, we unlock the potential of our future.